Guilford Hot Topics. My name is Allie Linell, and joining me today is Julia Chaff, Assistant Principal at Guilford High School, Rick Macenti, who is Principal of Guilford High School, and John Terenzi, who is an English teacher and one of the head implementers, I guess, of the International Baccalaureate program. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yep.
Guilford's such a wonderful community.
Absolutely.
And the school is known for its excellence. And as a real estate agent, I want to thank you for that because I work all the time with folks buying in to the Guilford community, first and foremost for the school system. And not only is the bar set high, but you are incorporating an international baccalaureate program for the Guilford High School. And that's what I wanted to speak about today. And tell me, what is an international baccalaureate program?
Well, it's the most rigorous academic program in the world. And it takes students outside the classroom, outside the school, outside the town of Guilford, and they become international citizens through the curriculum that's offered through the IB program.
Very impressive. So how does it differ? How does the International Baccalaureate Diploma program differ from courses that are offered at the high school now?
Well, the program is a program. It consists of 6 subject areas that all combine into one idea of a program, and it also has a nucleus of 3 specialities that pull the program together. So all these courses, and they're the usual courses: English, math, science, history, and the arts. They all teach students different skills, and the 3 areas that combine this as a program are a special course called the Theory of Knowledge, which combines all the skills and information they've learned from all these different subject areas. A program called CAS, which is Creativity, Activity, and Service, which is a combination of community service, capstone project, and looking at the world locally, so the students are active in Guilford. And the last is the extended essay, which is a research project that is independent, where the students research a topic. They write a 8,000-word essay, 4,000-word essay, one of the two, and submit it on their own. And it's those 3 elements combined with the courses that create this very balanced, very complete program for high school.
And I would add to what John's saying, that, you know, what makes this program particularly unique to me is that it really puts the learner at the center portion of the entire thing. So it's built around the student and the student's capabilities. So they talk about a learner profile, and the learner profile includes things that incorporate academics, but it also includes things like your ability to communicate, your ability to feel empathy, your ability to problem solve, your ability to take risks. And no one comes to the table with those skill sets fully developed, and each of us comes to the table with some of them better or more developed than others. What I like about this program is that even if, you know, one area is a weaker area for you, let's say it's risk taking, then you're still being encouraged to sort of develop that and become better at it. So it doesn't assume from the beginning that you can't learn and get better in all facets of your personality in terms of how you learn and how you take on new things.
And the other component Rick mentioned earlier is the international component. When the students are assessed, they're assessed against a set of criteria that's for all students across the globe. All right, so what students in Guilford are scoring is going to be the same whether they're in Afghanistan or England or in South America and somewhere like Argentina. The criteria is all the same, so the students are, when colleges look at them, have an understanding of exactly what they can do, judged against other students from around the world, and their abilities there. So that makes it quite unique too, that it's not about how they do just in your classroom, it's about how they do according to the standards that are set around the globe.
Because if I understand this correctly, they're not only graded by their teachers at school, but then they're also graded by the International Baccalaureate Association.
Yeah, there are each subject, whether it's math, science, or English, have an internal assessment. In that internal assessment, the IBO organization will ask us to send samples, probably 3 samples of, and they'll pick which students they want to see. We send them out to them. They take a look and they score them, and then they send the scores back. So we'll get feedback in terms of how our teachers in the program are assessing the students. If it's too high, they need to make an adjustment. If it's too low, obviously they need to make an adjustment that way. Hopefully, we'll be right on target. So we'll have feedback in terms of what they'll be able to do when it comes for the exam at the end of the course too. So they're getting feedback all along, which is really unique.
That is the unique piece of this program. The curriculum and assessment are internationally calibrated. So our students are on a level playing field worldwide, not just in Connecticut, not just in New England, not just in the United States.
And I understand correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but very, very few schools in the state of Connecticut offer the International Baccalaureate Diploma program. Is that accurate to say?
That's correct.
That is just amazing and exciting. So I understand that you just completed a consultation visit at the high school. Can we talk about that?
Sure. It was exciting. It was 2 days from someone from outside our country who came to visit with us, and spent 2 days really looking to see what kind of progress we've made, what to expect over the next several months to get ready for our authorization application. And I think we fared very well.
In terms of the next step, I mean, Jennifer from Ottawa, when she came, she was seeing where we are, trying to give us feedback, help us along the process, to give us some ideas in terms of the things that we have accomplished that we could check off, and things that we still yet to need to do. And after her, her visit, she was feeling, very positive, which was great feedback. We have a number of things to do. Don't get me wrong. There is definitely work to be done. There's things to be written, courses to be sorted out, and so forth. But she left, and she said this, in parting, that, and she said this to the superintendent when he was there as well too, that Guilford High School feels like an IB school. We are not. All right, we're still a candidate school. Make no mistake about that. But it was nice to get that feedback, because we're pretty proud of it in terms of not only the school and the teachers. I think she was most impressed with the faculty that she met, the faculty that has been trained. And when she met with them, she felt like there was a really good nucleus of teachers that are already involved in the program, which was really nice to hear.
So where are we as becoming a candidate school exactly? Like how far in the future will we?
We are a candidate school right now. Our next step is to submit our application to become an authorized world school. All right, until we get that authorization, we are still a candidate school. That application goes in April 1st, if not a few days before. And after they receive that application, they'll go over it and then hopefully accept it. And they will schedule an authorization visit next fall, sometime, probably about the same time as this, around November sometime. And then another team will come. Usually 2 or 3 people will come from the IB organization from different places. And it's Rick likes to think about it as being as intense as a NEAS visit, which it probably is. They're going to come and they're going to double check everything. They're going to make sure that there are certain things that we have to have in place, things that in terms of policies, in terms of courses, in terms of teachers, and then certain things that will always be in progress, which are good in terms of our evaluations and things like that. So, and it's after that visit we will know. If they come in November, hopefully we will know in a matter of a few months that we will become a world school, and that's hopefully our next step is to be a world school. And once that's done, we can begin teaching our students hopefully in the fall of 2017.
Very good.
Right.
Yes.
And I think the ongoing process right now is sort of working out the finer, the fine tuning, the logistics, and so we are. John mentioned coursework. We're working through how that affects scheduling. We're working through a lot of the sort of nuts and bolts of how to build the program, how to bring students into the program, but we certainly don't have all of the answers for that today. We will obviously in time for that authorization visit, which is pretty much a year down the road at this point.
Well, hopefully down the road in the near future, you can come back and we can talk again about the updates. A student that completes this level of a program, applying for colleges.
Do you want to go? IB organization has some information, but our best source of information came last year when Father Dennis Holtschneider from DePaul University came and visited with us and spoke with our Board of Education and our faculty. As a president of a university that works in Chicago, he's seen the results firsthand of what an IB student can do, and it's amazing. He feels the strongest about these are students who are prepared to succeed at college. They're not students that have taken college-like courses and know what a college course is like. They know what a college program is like. And he has seen the success rate of students that are in his school, in DePaul University, of a student that's graduated with an IB diploma degree from high school as well as their own degree, to be able to graduate in 4 years, all right, to graduate successfully, to go, and that's a big deal. They're also, he was talking about using the IB program as a means of establishing financial aid, deciding which students are going to be successful, because those are the types of students that
Interesting.
that do well and they want to invest in them. And those results, we have results that have been published for hundreds of colleges, even in the Northeast here, where the acceptance rate of an IB candidate is far greater. In many cases, it's extraordinary how many more IB students are accepted into a university than general ed students. So
Well, it certainly sounds like it takes a very disciplined, focused student for this program.
I think it's one of the traits, and Julia mentioned the learner profile, and it's really one of the keys to the IB program. And we're going to be talking more about that with our faculty. We've already had a professional development day with our faculty about the learner profile, and talking about that with our parents and our students in terms of these are the traits. And they're traits that you would expect all students to be able to do. IB is different because they put that to the forefront. They've made it a focal point and say these are the characteristics that we see as being really successful being student and student learners. With that in hand and going forward, that makes an IB student a little bit different than another student is because of the focus that's placed on that.
Well, and I think that the assessments themselves are different in terms of, if I were to take an AP course as a student currently at Guilford High School, the AP program is well established. It offers a lot of opportunities to our students. We certainly don't want it to go away. We think that it's a valuable set of courses that are in place. That said, at the end of the course, the benchmark is 1 day on one test. No matter how you're feeling on that particular day, when you show up to take that AP exam, it all hinges on, if you're going to get college credit, how you do on that 1 day. Another attractive feature I think about the IB program that's different from the AP system is that in an IB program, yes, you have these assessments that are at definitive times that are sent out to be scored, but you also have internal assessments as well, which means that the teachers who are in the classroom with the students every day are also validated in a sense in terms of how they're assessing them, and all of that contributes, ultimately to the success of the student at the end. I think in an AP course, you certainly have a teacher who's in the classroom working with the students all along, but they're really going toward that end mark of the finish line being the test. So you have a sense, I'm going to go back to that word balance that John talked about in the beginning of this conversation. You have a sense here that the student is more than just one performance assessment at the end. It's sort of the cumulative growth that they demonstrate over the entire program. And that's a little bit of a different feel to it than this one high stakes experience that you have as a learner.
And do I understand correctly, this is going to be geared more to the junior, senior classes ages, or?
IB is only a program for juniors and seniors. We have some work to do, although we generally feel that our students are in pretty good position now to be able to succeed in the IB program with freshmen and sophomores, but the actual program can only take place junior and senior year. Like for the CAS section that I talked about earlier, they can't start doing community hours until their junior year. So Guilford has their own system, which is important, and they can certainly do community service, and they should before then. But in terms of the IB program, it's what begins junior year and runs through their 2 years as seniors. The freshmen and sophomores are like with all courses they want to take. They need to know what they're going to be planning for in the future, and to take the courses. And we offer I think the variety and the right courses for them to be very successful once they enter the program.
Well, it's so very exciting, and I would like to have you back again in the near future for updates, if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. And just one more question for you, Mr. Masinti. I was wondering about the parking lot at the Guilford High School. What's the time frame on that? Do we have any?
We are hoping that by the December holidays, the north side of our building will be ready for use to some extent. The bus loop, the student parking, and parent drop-off. So they're making incredible progress with it. So, and before we do walk away from here, I also just wanted to share, getting back to IB just for a minute.
Oh, sure.
I think it's important for our community to really know how deeply our high school appreciates what they've done for us. We are so fortunate to have this kind of community. At every public forum I speak to, I talk about the three common threads that run through and through a successful high school or a successful school system. One is a very talented teaching staff, and we have that. A tremendous student body, ours is second to none, and then a community that really supports and nurtures and backs their school system. And if I'm a young family looking for a town to move to, here's a school board, board of education that unanimously voted to support this International Baccalaureate program, took us to all-day kindergarten, supported a $92 million referendum to a high school with our community. And here we are working in one of the best, arguably the best high school in the state of Connecticut. And just a big thank you to this community. It's rich with people who just care about kids. And that's what makes working at Guilford High School so valuable and so unique. And I don't think I could let this go without saying that to our community. Our superintendent talks about it a lot, and he is a very bright individual who's taken our school system to a whole different level. But you have a board of education who lives in this community that are more friends to the school system than anything else. I mean, they look at everything closely. They are always thinking about kids, and it's really, really a wonderful thing. And I just wanted our community to know how.
Well, thank
how
you
we
for
feel.
that. Thank you for that. It's a wonderful, special place. And thank you again for being here. And thank you, viewers, watching Guilford Hot Topics. And we will see you next time. And you have a great Guilford day.